how do you get a placement, right? Obviously, it's the $1,000,000 question. It's the pretty much one of the main things we talk about on my podcast called BLAP-KITS. If you guys have been hiding under a rock, go listen to it. And on my YouTube channel too, we talk about placements, producer placements. But it's a long road, man. You know, there's a million things that you can do right now to apply yourself to get you closer to getting a placement. I really believe that it's relationships. I think relationships really are the #1 thing, in addition to having the right music, timing, you know, work ethic, right place, right time. All those things are true, but relationships are really the #1 key to placements. You know, it's who you know, how well you know them, whether or not that person believes in you enough to give you a chance, to give you a shot. That's a big thing too. And you know, I say time and time again on my podcast and on my YouTube channel, like, all of my placements have been because of relationships that I've had, relationships that I've nurtured over the years, some of them 10+ years. And these people knew what I was capable of. They respected my music, respected my craft and my work ethic. And they were able to really believe in me and give me a shot. And I was able to get some of those placements. So it's an ongoing thing. Nurture your relationships and be patient. But the main thing is relationships, relationships, relationships if you want placements. Copywriting your music is necessary to sort of like play it safe. I think you want to copyright your music if you want to really just like ensure that you're protected. I'll be honest, it's not 100% necessary. I'll be completely honest with you guys. Like, I rarely copyright my stuff. Even early on, when I was just starting and just selling beats and uploading my stuff to like SoundCloud and all that, like I never really like copywrote my stuff. And you know, I've been able to get to where I'm at now without doing that. So not a huge deal. It's relatively cheap and easy to copyright your music. Just go to copyright.gov and you can upload MP3s, you fill out a form and you pay like a small fee. And so, you know, it's really easy to do. And if it gives you peace of mind to copyright your music, I would say go ahead and do it, because it's really not that hard to do it. My goal really is to create a deep impact, a deep emotional impact with people that listen to my music. So I'm kind of like not super concerned with like getting hit records, and the accolades. All that stuff is amazing and nice, and of course I want those things, but for me, making music is more of an intimate, deep thing. I really want to just connect with people on a deep level. A perfect example, and I always go back to this record, is perfect example is Love Yours for J. Cole. Like, I didn't know how deep of an impact that record would have on people. Obviously, it's not like the biggest record in the world, but the type of impact that it made on people just amazes me every time. And like, that's the reason why I make music, right? Like, whether it's you hearing a piece of my music, whether it's my song or a song I produced for someone, if that piece of music really like touches your soul and makes you feel a certain way, then I did my job. So I really just want to really create a deep impact on people with my music, and that's my goal. Not knowing, funny enough, for me, not knowing what the future holds is a huge motivator. You know, like the idea that I don't know when my next check is coming. I don't know what my next placement will be. I don't know what type of music I'll make tomorrow. I don't know what my beats are going to sound like a year from now. All those things excite the hell out of me, and they motivate me. You know, just the anticipation of what I've accomplished, but also the anticipation of what I'm about to accomplish and what I want to accomplish. And and funny enough too, like I look forward to my failures. Like I'm looking forward to doing something and then like fucking up and then learning from it, right? Like I've fucked up a lot of times and I've learned from those mistakes, but those mistakes help me grow. And so I'm looking forward to continuing to learn from that. So those are all motivators for me, and obviously my fiance is a huge motivator. The people around me are a huge motivator, and just music, man. Like when I hear music that like gives me goosebumps, that like really just inspires me to get in the studio and just get busy, So I'm just super motivated right now. I feel like Diddy. Like I feel like I'm ready to fucking take over the world. So
my friend says that he notices that I use the same drum sounds on all my beats. Is that necessarily a bad thing, or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, listen, if you have a set of drum sounds that you love and they're like your go-to sounds and you're confident in using those and you feel like your music sounds good with those sounds, go for it. I know a lot of producers that are amazing that have a small sort of like palette of sounds and it works for them. So me personally, I'm a fan of using a lot of different types of textures. Some days I'll stick to like TR-808 like drum machine type drums, and then other days I'll do drum breaks, and then other days I'll play drums myself, and sometimes it'll be a combination of all those things. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but if you've been using the same drums since the beginning, like since you started making beats and you've only been using the same set of drums, I would suggest getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and trying different things, and you'll be surprised at what you could unlock in terms of creativity when you start to use different types of drum palettes. So
who's the one artist that you really want to work with but you hadn't had the chance to collaborate with them yet?
I've been saying this for probably the past 3, 4, 5 years, but I really want to work with Adele, amongst many other people. But she's super inspiring. Her pen is insane. Her voice obviously is insane, and I think we can make some magic together. So one huge goal of mine is to work with Adele. Just go for it head on. I think that's probably one of the biggest hurdles for music producers, is getting over the fear of playing their music for someone and then them not liking it. I mean, you really just have to kind of erase that emotion from your mind and really just do what you can to try to reach this place of like ultimate confidence. Like I think the way to combat your fear of people not liking your music is ultimate confidence, right? So applying ultimate confidence when you're in the studio and when you're composing, applying ultimate confidence when you're working with artists or songwriters, just believing in yourself really is honestly the starting point to that. So really it's just a matter of like starting to just believe in yourself and believe what you're capable of and just going at it every day, and your confidence is going to start to increase, and then you're going to start to be more comfortable with playing your music for people, and then also being open-minded to people that don't like your music. I mean, you're not going to please everyone, and if you're a music producer and you think everyone's going to love your beats, you're in the wrong business. Like I have beats that people hate as well, but I don't give a fuck, right? Like I do music for people that like it, and so I'm not here to try to please everyone, and I believe that. I don't think that as a music producer you should try to make music that'll please everyone. It's a losing battle. You're never going to win that battle, and you're never going to get every single person on board. You're going to have people that are going to love it, and you're going to have people that are going to hate your shit, and that's just part of life. Marketing is really, it's a weird thing, because nowadays, I mean, first of all, I hate the word marketing. I think nowadays really it's just putting the most honest version of yourself, putting that out in the open and showing that to the public, right? So when you guys see my Instagram account, when you see my Twitter account, when you see my Facebook account, when you go to my Facebook, when you listen to my podcast, when you go to my Snapchat, when you go to my Instagram stories, all of these channels are telling you guys a story about me and my life and what I'm doing, right? So sometimes it's me in the studio, sometimes it's me talking shit like I am right now on my YouTube channel, sometimes it's me answering questions on my Instagram. All of these things are part of my life and part of the Illmind brand, I guess, and I'm just portraying that to you guys, right? And you guys know at this point, if you've been following me for at least a month, you probably know that I love Star Wars, right? That's part of who I am. You guys probably know that I love Game of Thrones. You guys probably know that, like, I'm into fashion. You guys probably know that, like, I love Jay Dilla, right? All these things are just part of who I am. So I think for you, in terms of marketing yourself, just be honest with who you are. Show people who you are through your social media, and be honest with yourself, and let the people you know, come to you. Give them the most honest version of who you are through your social media, and I think that always works. Just make music. Like, doesn't matter if it's from vinyl or YouTube or a sample pack or a BLAP kit. Just, there's so many resources nowadays. You can make music with anything. So as long as the end product is good, just focus on that. Don't worry about how it's done. Because at the end of the day, no one cares. No one cares that you use Fruity Loops. No one cares that you took a fucking, you know, Aerosmith sample and like time stretched it fucking, you know, a million times and then pitched it down and EQ. Like, people don't give a fuck, right? You know, the days of flexing your producer muscle are pretty much over, right? People really generally just care about the end product, and if the music connects with them or it doesn't. And really that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is your music connecting with people or is it not? And that's the more important thing. I keep my momentum going without even really thinking about how much shit there is out there. You know what I mean? Listen, guys, there's so much music out. There's so many producers. There's so many fucking trap producers. There's so many fucking sample packs. There's so many, you know, drum kits. There's so many everything. There's so much of everything that I think the strategic thing for you to do is to not pay attention to any of it and just keep your eye on the prize and focus on what you do. And just know that there's an abundance of success and fan base out there for everyone to win. I tweeted this, you know, a couple of days ago. I said there's more than enough out there for everyone to eat, and it's true. It's out there for the taking, right? And even though there's a million people out there that are doing the same thing you're doing, all you need to do is focus on your shit. Just focus on your shit. Don't try to be like Metro. Don't try to be like this person. Don't try to be like DJ Premier. Don't try to be like this. Don't try to... Just fuck all that stuff, right? Because at the end of the day, no one cares. Like, just be you. Put yourself out there with what interests you and what you do, and let the people come to you. And that's the only way. You have to tell your own unique story. And don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Don't worry about the big placements, guys. Don't fucking worry about that shit. That stuff will happen through relationships, but you have to start focusing on the parallel, right? The people that are here. Shout to Issa Rae. She confirmed my belief that in the music industry, but more so in the music production world, you need to start getting with people that are parallel to you, right? At your level. So focus on artist development. Focus on working with artists and producers and musicians that are right there next to you on your level. Don't worry about trying to chase the Drakes and the Futures and the Travis Scotts and all these guys. Don't focus on that yet. Focus on the people here. Start building your brand, build your sound, build your buzz, And, you know, obviously that's going to take longer, but patience is everything. You know, you got to build your shit here and then get to where you need to be. Don't get frustrated with trying to get big placements, big, like that stuff will come, but you got to be patient and you got to start working with the guys here.
How do you approach separating personal life and business life?
Very simple. I have a very specific schedule for myself. I work Monday through Friday. I wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. every morning. And then I work up until 6 p.m., sometimes 7 p.m., Monday through Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday I'm off. Personal time, you know, spend time with my fiance, spend time in the neighborhood with family, friends, just, you know, living life like what everyone else does. And that weekend for me allows for me to recharge. That's why I'm able to do all this stuff. You know, I'm able to produce and get on these albums and then work on my own music and then do Beat Thread and then do my podcast and do my YouTube and then, you know, do drum kits and do samples and run that business and then run my social media. Like, I'm able to do all this stuff because I'm so energized through the week. For me, waking up really early is key for me because I work really well during the day. Soon as the sun starts going down, I'm tapped out. I'm done. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to have dinner. I'm ready to hang out with my fiance and just call it a night, honestly. There's some nights that are late nights depending on what sessions and stuff, but for the most part, that's my schedule. And then my weekends are important for me. You know, it's important for me to clock out on the weekend and spend time outside and don't be on my phone all day and not be in the studio. That 2-day recharge for me is crucial for me. So I think for you guys, you know, try different things. Try what works best for you. Everyone's got their own schedule, right? Some of you guys are in school. Some of you guys work. Some of you guys do both. Some of you guys have kids, you know. Some of you guys do this full time, which is great, but work with what works for you. You know, the worst thing you can do is burn yourself out. Don't do this whole team no sleep, like, yo, I just slept fucking 3 hours last night and like and take pride in it. Like, that's bullshit, man. Like, you're destroying your body and your brain, and it's just bad to burn yourself out. So you know, just work at your own pace. I practiced, you know, like, my dad played guitar. All of his brothers played instruments. I was always around music, you know, but I had to learn. I had to acquire that stuff. So I practiced. You know, I jumped on the keyboard, and when I first started, I was terrible. You know, I still don't think I'm that good. I mean, I'm decent, but I'm still getting better every day. So it's like anything else, you know, like LeBron wasn't born a basketball player. Like, he went to the park every day and played every day and loved it enough to do it all the time to the point where he got really good at it. So I think that's, you know, kind of the same for me. I just applied myself. So
what advice to create content for IG and YouTube as a producer? Sometimes I feel too spammy.
Just be honest with yourself. Do what you like. Like, post up the stuff that you like. Post up shit that you would watch. That would be my number one piece of advice, would be any type of content that you put up on your social media or on your YouTube, ask yourself if you would watch it, or if you would look at it, or if you would listen to it. And if you would, then maybe you should try it, you know? But you won't know unless you try. So don't overthink it, man. Just like put up the stuff that you feel like would be valuable, and just go from there. Post your music up, you know? Put your music out. That's how you find your audience. If you make boom bap beats and that's what you love doing, keep doing that. But put it out, because if no one hears it, you're not going to attract shit. You're only going to attract what you put out there. So if it's boom bap beats that you want to put out, you're going to attract those people, but you have to put them out. If you're not putting music out, if you have a bunch of music sitting on a hard drive and the last piece of music you put on your SoundCloud was 5 months ago, you're not attracting shit. you need to be consistent with this stuff. You know, put it out on your Instagram, your stories, your Twitter, your Facebook, your SoundCloud, your BeatThread account. You know, whatever account you use, just put the music out, put the content out, and let the people come.
How do you recover from beat block?
I don't have beat block. I never do. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way at all. I don't experience beat block because I don't allow myself to experience beat block. You know, when I'm in the mood to create music, I create. When I feel just not in the mood or not creative in that moment, I'll stay away, right? So I'm only creating music when I really feel excited and when I'm really feeling like I can make something. That's when I get in here and I compose and I create. But if I'm not feeling it, I'll go do something else, right? So I sort of got into the habit of doing that early, and it just works for me. It works, you know. So if you're experiencing beat block, like, go out there and live life. You know, don't force yourself. I don't believe that good music could be made if you're not all the way there mentally, and if you're forcing it. You know, unless you're training, unless you're, you know, trying to learn something along the way, I don't think it's a good idea. Put your music out on every platform. If you only put it out on SoundCloud, then you're alienating the people that only use iTunes. If you only put it on Spotify, then you're alienating all of the thousands of people that only use Amazon, right? So when you think of it that way, it all makes sense. So put your shit everywhere, right? The days of, hey, exclusively on fucking, you know, SoundCloud only, those days are over. Like, good luck if you still believe that works, because it just doesn't work. So put your music on every platform. If you're independent and you don't have distribution, I would suggest TuneCore. TuneCore has become really popular. A lot of people use it. They use it to get their stuff on the digital platforms like iTunes and Spotify and stuff. So take advantage of that, but get your music on every platform. It's gonna be epic. Shout out to you guys who fuck with my YouTube and listen to the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to BLAP-Chat. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave comments, all that good shit. And shout to all my producers, shout to all my creators. And I'll be back later. Peace.